It's been a day. It is as hot as Hades here in South Louisiana, and that's about all I'm going to say on that subject. So I did a live show this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was so proud of myself. I got everything ready. I was ready to go. Everything was good. And then on one of the replays, somebody said, there's a really bad echo. And I'm like, an echo? Yes. See, in my brilliance this morning of thinking I'm so good, I'm so on it, I turned on every microphone. I did. I sure enough did. I turned on every microphone, and then that way it heard it in stereo. It was not a pleasant experience. So I'm re-recording this morning's live, doing it now at 5:35 this evening before I go and cook dinner, and then I'll get it all posted on YouTube and everything like that. But the products are the same, the sale's still the same, the coupon's the same, everything's the same, except now you can hear me better, hopefully. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, we've got several fun stuff I want to show you, but I want to tell you the story, because I always like stories, about my challenge quilt for my quilt guild. So for all my quilt guild ladies that are going to be watching, this is a story about how my challenge quilt is going. So I was at the guild meeting, and we do a challenge quilt every year. And this year they put all of the crayons from like a 48 pack of Crayolas into a basket, and you pulled out a color. All right, so whatever color you had to use that color as your focus color, and then you have to use white and black. So I had the color orange. And so for me, I thought, what am I going to do with orange? Orange is a wonderful color. I like all colors in the rainbow, but orange, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And all I could think is, so thankful it wasn't lime green. That would be even worse. So that was my challenge quilt. So I've been kind of letting that percolate for 6 months, mind you, that I needed to do this challenge quilt. Well, fast forward to this past 2 weeks, and it was the area where I live in South Louisiana. It was our shop hop for the past 2 weeks. I guess the past 2 weeks it's been our shop hop for our region. Now, this isn't the big state shop hop. This is just our shop hop, local shop hop. So I thought, okay, let me see what I can find for this challenge. So I threw my Crayola in my purse and went on my way. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll do a table runner or something small. I don't need to do a whole big quilt. Well, let's just say funny thing happened along the way to the bank. So I got to the store I went to. I was going to go to 3 stores on Saturday. I went to one, blew my wad, walked out a happy woman. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Who's texting me? Well, I didn't, okay. Sorry, I got a text, and this is very important text. I'll try to zoom in. That is the temperature right here, 101 degrees. So it's 101 degrees, blessed be, in South Louisiana. I'm going to mute this because then I won't get distracted. All right, so anyway, so I go to this store, as cute as can be. It's called the Cross Quilter. She mixes cross stitch and embroidery with quilting. It's a beautiful store. It's in St. Francisville, Louisiana. And while I was there, she had this book series from 10 Sisters. All right, go this way, Christy. 10 Sisters. And I thought, oh, I like their stuff. So let me talk a little bit about the 10 Sisters system. And by the way, this woman has 10 sisters. So thus the name 10 Sisters. And I think she's got like 7 brothers too. I think they got a big old family. So anyway, because she's got a quilt pattern named 7 Brothers too. So let me, while I'm flipping through this book and being all kinds of a mess, I was a little less distracted this morning. Oh, well, what did I do? Okay, that button. Okay, so this is the book right here, and you can see a lot of her quilts in this book are really heirloom specific. They're really kind of traditional. They're basic squares and nothing fancy. This one here is just a typical granny square. This one's fun. It kind of gives you an optical illusion. I love this one. It's called Mosaic because I love that black that goes through it. That's just so cool. So, and then we've got a Borgello. They call it a chevron, but it's a Borgello. And so basically all of their quilts are designed on a grid system. Okay, you can see that's a grid. And the idea with the grid system is that these quilts on the grid, they have developed, where did I put my panel? Well, I didn't grab the panel. Okay, they have developed a fusible panel, this like right here like this one. This is one that's already put together. A fusible panel that is 2.5 inch, designed for 2.5 inch squares. And then when you sew it, it's 2 inches finished. Now this panel, you can get them in 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inch, 2, and I think 5 inch, I think are the sizes. I can't remember all the sizes. We're only offering the one for 2 inches right now. Okay, we're going to test the waters and see what y'all think. But it's on a grid and it's fusible. So the way this works, let me lay this out for you, is you have your pattern and you have your grid, just like this. Okay, and in your quilt, let me go to the quilt that I'm making, which is this one called X's and O's. That's my quilt I'm doing. So everything in the dark blue-gray is going to be orange, and everything in the white is white. These 4 centers will be black, and then I'm going to border it in a black binding. I would prefer to leave it all cheddar, but I got to put some black in there somewhere, so that's the best I can come up with. So anyway, this is my pattern right here for my grid. So I've already completed panel 1, and so panel 1 is completely done, and that is what this looks like. So this is panel 1, it's all done. Isn't that cool? And it's perfect piecing, and it goes super stinking quick. Y'all, this is so fast because it's on a grid, and when I explain to you how you do it, you're just gonna fall out. You'll just fall out. Okay, so I've been working on panel 2 last night and today, getting ready for today. And so basically I read my pattern and I say, okay, for my last row, this is how that has to be. Well, actually we'll do this row right here. So this row right here is the 3rd from the bottom. So I've got to have a white, 4 yellows, or 4 oranges, 2 whites, 2 oranges, okay? And it just kind of lays it out. Now what you do on your grid, when you have just a blank grid, is you take your ever favorite Elmer's glue stick that is washable and repositionable. That guy right there, washable and repositionable Elmer's glue stick. And I just go on every square on the grid and just draw a little X of glue, just like that, just a little X of glue. And then I just stick my pieces down. These are 2.5 inch squares. I used a Creative Grids Stripology ruler to cut my 2.5 inch squares super quick. So then I lay those out and I push them down. And then once I have them all pushed down, I double check my pattern because, you know, I'm really gifted at messing things up. And this is not a seam ripper friendly type project. Yes, you can seam rip it, but it's not friendly. Okay, I'll just leave it there. There's friendly seam ripping and there's unfriendly seam ripping. This would fall in that category, that second one. Okay, so double check your work. And then once you're all good, then you take your really super hot iron and you just press down with your iron and you fuse all of these pieces onto the backing. Easy peasy, right? Well then, once you've done that, then you go to your sewing machine and you fold it over on the dotted line and you just sew 1/4 inch, sew 1/4 inch. Then you have to break them apart, and I just take my little scissors and snip apart right here, because then once you've snipped them all apart, then you come back and you got to fold this down here and sew this way and then do this way. Now for the ironing, you know, I went through and ironed them all one direction. So now I'm going back through and kind of pressing them the direction they need to go so they nest. And once you do that and fold them and nest them, just like this, fold and nest, stitch, stitch, stitch. Do the next one, fold and nest, stitch, stitch, stitch. fold and nest. And you can see how fast it goes. Little in no time, you've got this panel completed, okay? Then you give it a good press and take it off and do the next one. So I would say probably on each panel, I'm spending probably about an hour and 15 minutes, generously an hour and 15 minutes on each panel. And you know, you think about that, all these like small squares like this, that's no time at all. So it's really a great tool and a great product. It's very, very lightweight. I would definitely be able to quilt through it. My long arm quilt's on leather. I certainly can quilt through this. And it's a great product and super easy to use. So let's talk about the offerings for this. So for me, you know, I'm no longer a big quilt store like I used to be. So what I'm doing is, for anybody who wants to order the products, I've listed the products I'm going to show in support of this effort for the 10 Sisters. The 10 Sisters quilt layout, and you just go to my website, acadiaquilting.com, acadiaquilting.com, click the live show button, and you will see all the offerings from tonight's show. You also see a bonus offering in there, and that's for our upcoming Block of the Month program. We still have openings for that. I've been advertising and advertising and advertising on that. We haven't had many sign up, so I need folks to sign up for that Block of the Month program. So that's in there as well. And if you have questions about that, just message me or make a comment. But you're going to see in there the book and several other products. So let me walk through the stuff we're offering tonight. So this is the 10 Sisters book. I'm actually showing 2 books on the website that we'll offer. This one is the one I purchased. I really like it. I definitely am going to be making 2 quilts out of here for sure. I really like the mosaic one as well. Let me show you that one. Right here, the mosaic one with the black in it. I will tell you what's great about these quilts, because they're all on a grid system, is that any of your scraps that you have left over and you want to cut them in 2.5-inch strips, it's super easy to do that. And also, because they're grid based, if you want to make it bigger than what the pattern says, you just buy a larger grid. Now, we're only offering the 2-inch finished size, but if you want a bigger size, we certainly can do that if you let me know. All right, so we have the book. The book is going to be $19.99. There's a second book I've put on the website as well. It's called Heirloom Quilts. It's also $19.99. I don't have that book to show you what's in it, but it's a beautiful color book. It's very well done. She's got stories of her families in here. It's just a great product, okay? Also, the panels, we're selling the panels for this. You can buy individually. Each panel, they're $4.25. For the quilts in the book, they all vary in different sizes of panels. The one I'm doing, you need 12 panels for. Some you need 13. Some you need 15. So, you know, you can make your judgment on that. But I would say like hopscotch is one pattern in here, and it needs 10. So it just depends on the size of projects, the number of panels you need. The most I'm seeing in the book is 20 panels. So if you would, you know, want to just go ahead and get the most, you can get 20. You're getting 15% off. So, you know, that's a good savings. So you'll get the panels are the offering. Also, I didn't bring my silicone mat in here because you're working with fusible. It's important that you use a silicone mat when you're pressing, just so that the fusible doesn't stick to your iron. So if you need a silicone mat, I'm offering that as well. So that's on the list. And then just some other things I threw in because, you know, it's a live show, right? So one of them is the flatter. It's not new. This is my favorite flatter. It's Pineapple Grove. If you need to get a resupply of flatter, it's a good time to pick that up. Love this product. And then also, I do a Villa Rose monthly club, and so I have some extra patterns from that monthly club. And here you are with those. So this is Shiloh. That's a fun pattern there. It's all fat quarters. Each of these are $2. Banquet Garnet, that is a fat quarter and yardage friendly one. And then we have Satterley, which is fat quarters and yardage. And then Accordion, which is all jelly roll strips. You can do so much with that. That's a great one there. And I have a very limited supply of these cards, and so first come, first serve. And then this one here is Banner Day, and it is a table runner for 4th of July. And then a snack mat for 4th of July. All right, so that's our offerings that we're doing for this show today. I hope you've enjoyed this talk on the 10 Sisters. Again, it is a great, amazing product. There's a lot of things you can do with it. So I will also say this, if you're going to ask, well, is it just squares? No, anything that is on a grid will work on this method. For example, half square triangles will work. They're on a grid. Triangle and a square, anything that's a square subset will work. So there's lots of availability of ideas and designs that you can do with this product. It's not just a one-shot deal, but what is fun with it is if you do decide to order extra panels than what you think you might use, you can go ahead and scrap them and put on there just scraps of fabric from your finished product to make a pillow to accent your top. Lots of different things you can do with it. So it's a fun product. So be sure to check it out. Thank you for joining me this evening at Acadia Quilting. I promise next week we won't have these technical difficulties. All right, have a good night.